Xiaomi finally unveiled the brand new Smart Band 8 that was just announced at the same time as the 13T, the 13T Pro, as well as their Pro 2 watch, smartwatch that was announced in Berlin. One of the biggest things I'll probably say here is the versatility and the functionalities that we get within the Smart Band 8 are very nice and almost too subtle, but very good. And of course, we are able to use it as a regular fitness tracker on our wrist. We can use it in a necklace attachment or even clip it straight on our shoe. And all of these things can be controlled directly within the app to give us all the functionalities and keep all of the stats that we keep accruing. This is TK and this is my review of the Xiaomi Smart Band 8. Let's check it out. Like and subscribe and make sure you hit that bell icon so that you're always notified whenever we have new videos on the channel. So in front of us are all the boxes for the accessories that Xiaomi sent me, including of course the Smart Band 8. Now obviously there's different color bands, but the one that comes with it is black. This is the orange one, the one I'm using actually. I figured that this one looks the most colorful and it actually stands out pretty nicely. We also have again the pendant. This is going to be the necklace option that you're able to use, and I'll show you guys how to be able to transfer it from the band all the way to the pendant as well as down to the running clip that you'll be able to use with your, let's say, sneakers and so on. Of course, I have been pairing it with the 13 Pro. This is 13T Pro specifically, and this is going to be basically my experience and sharing with you guys some of the benefits and of course all the things that I like about it. As far as what you get in the actual packaging itself, the one that comes with it is the black band, and now the one I have right here is the orange one, but again, it's easily removable and I'll show you guys how to replace them. And one of the other things obviously is the magnetic connector. This is charging via pogo connectors or magnetic connectors on the back, and it basically is strong enough that if you, let's say, hang it to hold the actual band, since it's technically very light. USB-A connector, so you'll be able to connect it to almost anything, and it pulls power and again charges in about an hour. The battery that we have in here is rated to be about 190 milliampere, basically a 1.68 inch display, AMOLED display, 192 by 490, so obviously a longer form factor. Bluetooth 5.1 LE, so no power issues there, and one of the things that attributes it to be able to last up to 16 days. That's what they're rating it for. We have the calorie information here, different watch faces that we're able to put on here. We definitely have a very simple and easy push button option here. You could see it right there. If I push the button option, it allows me to remove the actual band itself, and it is actually magnetic. So once I put it on, it clamps in there and it's really, really nice. But it also allows us to actually be able to interface with it in a very nice way, where I can actually remove it, a standard smart band, to be actually fit into the actual pendant or even directly into the clip. The options that we have in here are obviously very nice. There's up to 200, I'll probably say about 200 watch faces that you're able to connect to, and up to 150 sport activities to be able to track using it. And it does actually run also all day activity, so double tapping on it turns it on. Let's go ahead and just real quick show you guys how to change the actual directly from the standard band. This is the tracking function, and now we're actually able to use the little sports clip. There's a little release here. You clip that down, so just remember that this button goes down. Watch. We'll go ahead and put the actual watch itself, and it's super simple, super easy. And all you have to do basically at this point is put it on your favorite sneakers that you're going to be using for your run, clip it on, and then change the setting in the app. Make sure you do that so that it actually knows it's inside of the actual clip. Otherwise, it's going to track it as if it's sitting on your wrist. To remove it, they include a nice little, I would say like a wedge. So actually you can put it straight down on the side and pop it up, because actually it does not pop up by itself. It's actually pretty deep in there and it's very nice. When you're not using it, just get them together, put it on the side, and you're ready to go. Now, the other accessory, of course, is going to be really, really nice. Now, this one actually includes a little bit of a cover. So let's go ahead and cover the bottom part so that this doesn't allow it to stay open. There's a magnetic pack or backing to it right here, and then of course last but not least, to be able to secure it, a nice little clip as well so that it actually fits in there in case if for any reason it does separate. Once you have them together, you can actually just magnetically connect them together, set up your band, and then from there basically you have both of them connected, and it's pretty simple. You can actually twist the little clamp connector, put it back in. That's how you're going to be able to put it around your neck, and it's really good. And of course you can change your own if you want to use a different band or a different thing like that. But it makes it very simple. And we again have the very easy way of taking it out. Remove it, push the actual button here to be able to separate the bottom piece, so you can take that out, so we can actually put on the band. Put it again to be able to separate the top piece, and then at that point just get your personal or your favorite option connected to one side and very simply connected to the other side. It's really made so that you're actually able to change the different format for it very easily and very quickly without ever missing a beat. And of course, you can put it back on your wrist and start tracking. Now, before we jump into the app, you'll notice that it's very thin, very light. Once you have this on, it's actually to make sure that you tighten it to the right level. Loop it straight in directly from the top, pretty much a standard loop that you've seen on other watches as well. And one of the other things you want to make sure that it does not fall. Even if it does unclip from here, it doesn't actually slip up all the way right away. So I haven't had it in the amount of time that I've been using it fall off or actually have any problem of it tangling on something else. That's one of the things I've seen in the past. The display is beautiful. Double tapping, if it does go to sleep, double tapping wakes it up. Swiping on the left, it's actually kind of a looped experience. So if you keep going, you're just going to keep getting in all the way at the end and you'll get back to the main home screen. Now, the watch face that I have is very nice. It gives me the calories, of course, it gives me the heart rate, and of course some stats information if I want to be able to interact with them. If I swipe up from the bottom, I have access to the application. So those are the additional apps I'm able to install directly in here, the SPO2, all the information. I can go into settings. I can go even more here. Let's go ahead and let it focus. And then from there, go to events, breathing, stopwatch, all the different things, music control to our phone, and of course, silence options, timers, flashlight. And last but not least, we also have the ability of controlling our watch, our smartphone's camera using the actual watch. Swiping from the top, we have our notifications. If you have any, you can actually see them. And if you don't want them, you could just basically swipe them away. They go in. But let's go ahead and check out the app directly on the 13T Pro here to see some of the functions that we're able to do to control our watch. Now, the app that we're using here is the Mi Fitness application. Coincidentally, this is the same app that we're going to be using when we're connecting it to their brand new Smartwatch 2 Pro that they just announced. You have obviously access to your information. You can go in there, check your info. You obviously sleep tracking, heart rate, caloric and steps information, moving, standing exercises, and of course stress, blood oxygen level, saturation, and all the other information in there. And this somehow, for some reason, is giving me some weird numbers there, but when you jump into the workout, you're able to customize outdoor walking, outdoor cycling, treadmill. Now for me, I do like to use treadmills inside, so it's easy to jump into them. And of course, they also have support for the Mijia, I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly, smart jump rope if you have one of those. You can customize it, launch them from here, add additional ones if you want to customize them, and of course, launch what you want directly from the device. The device itself pairs very nicely under device options and is very straightforward. We have obviously the information. It does auto sync right now. It tells me the battery level on it. It's charged yesterday, so it even tells you when I fully charged it, essentially. And one of the other things we have, of course, the ability of managing the displays, or I guess the watch faces, but these are technically displays. Their online gallery here for up to 200 different watch faces we're able to download from. And of course, it also has the built-in ones, or the ones that you download. So out of the box, I was actually using the main watch face. So let's go ahead and double tap it here. I'll go ahead and switch it over, say sync, or apply. I'll give it a second. It switches it on, and because it's loaded on the actual unit itself, it's easy and it's super simple to be able to switch it on, and it'll switch from one to the other. If you're downloading it, just give it a little bit more time. You can select whichever one you want, and of course, once you like it, figure out which one it is and say apply, customize if you'd like, and then jump into the experience that you want. It's very nice, and again, you have options that you're able to load up your own pictures. Now, one of the other options that I told you guys at the beginning is the ability of figuring out which mode that you're using. Standard mode obviously is the band mode, which is what we have. The pebble mode, as we talked about it, that's the one you use to clip directly on your sneakers. And of course, necklace mode, or essentially making it into a pendant, makes it so that you're using it in that format, and it adjusts the tracking to the experience of where it is. So it's going to be either on our wrist, on our shoes, or directly hanging on our chest. For me, obviously, it's going to be either the clip or the band, but depending on what your preference there. Notification access, we have the ability of giving it access to all notification, incoming calls, background permission, if you want to be able to run it in the background so it doesn't actually die, or essentially the device puts it to sleep, or puts the app to sleep. You're able to sync up your alarms, your events, of course, sync events in here, weather information, adding the cities. I was also able to add some information here from New York, Berlin, and Los Angeles for the time, since we're going to Berlin for that. And of course, heart rate, sleep tracking, blood oxygen, stress, standing, and of course, this is where you're able to turn it on or turn it off if you don't want it to remind you to stand up every once in a while, and you can customize the intervals for that. Stats, again, all the information can be shown directly on your device. Vitality score setting, you can go in there, turn that on if you want to be able to check out that information. Customizing and arranging the widgets the way you have them. Those are the ones that we swiped directly in the sequence of events like this, and those are the ones that you have them, and you can rearrange them or even add them in a format of 2 per page or 1 per page. Very simple and very easy, and again, depending on the apps that you have installed in there. As far as the actual, sorting the apps themselves, again, this is the order of the way they are, and then you can load them more in there. It makes it very simple, and you can rearrange them in the order you want. Vibration, obviously for notification. Sleep mode. Do not disturb sync will sync up to the one that you have on your phone. Find My Device does work, and of course you can find it in case you misplace it. Set password, and of course unlock phone if you want to be able to use this as a function to unlock your smartphone without having to put in your PIN. Personally, I like to keep it there. When it comes down to the actual camera app, you do need to pair this to your smartphone specifically as a separate function, and you'll notice it's sitting here saying turn off. If you don't do that out of the box, it doesn't work, but if it does, it'll make sure that it goes through correctly. And of course, latest firmware is 2.2.12. That's the latest one. I did receive one since I received the actual band. Help Center and About Device, and of course unpair if you want to basically reset it, and of course set it up with a separate account or give it to somebody else. Otherwise, it's pretty straightforward. Your Me account is linked in here. You can customize it, share this information. If I log into my Me account, obviously on another device, I can also see all the information from there. Smart bands are a little bit different than smartwatches. They're intentionally made so that they disappear, or they almost become like something you forget to interact with. Now, one thing to mention obviously is this is not running Wear OS. The notifications that you get here are purely for information. If you want to interact with them, you do need to connect to your device or turn on the device to use them. So it's really more meant for kind of like, hey, by the way, you have something there. The more things you turn on, in theory, will obviously reduce the battery life. But even if it drops down from 16 days to 13 days, or even to 14 days, that's a solid 2 weeks of battery life on a smart band that you don't have to worry about charging. So you can use it during the day and keep it on when you go to sleep without having to worry, is it going to die on me in the middle of the day? The sport tracking is really nice, very simple to activate. And again, you can customize your own list in the application and make sure that you get access to what you need. For me, starting to work out and everything, it just makes it super simple. I like the fact that we have the option of putting it as a clip directly on our shoes, so you don't have to worry about running around. If you don't like wearing bands or watches, this becomes very functional. And of course, if you like to wear it as a necklace, the necklace option is also available for you as a separate accessory. In the box, you just get them as a band. Now, we started this review, or I'm showing you with a lot of the footage right now from using this or having it with me in Berlin as I'm traveling to the launch event for Xiaomi's band, well, launch event for this exact band, the Xiaomi Smart Band 8. So it's really exciting to be able to do that for you guys. It's super nice, super comfortable, and of course, really easy to set up, really easy to customize. And I feel like a lot of the things that we used to have in the past that made it maybe a little bit more cumbersome are definitely not there anymore. All your tracking information is going to be housed and synced to the cloud directly using the Mi Fitness application. But let's say you use Strava or Zepp, there's not going to be an issue. You can connect them directly using the Mi app under your profile and connect that function. We no longer have Google Fit. That's something that I think we used to have in the past, but right now we don't. I'm not sure if there's going to be some other workarounds in the future, but at least in the current state, this one is not built into this function. And of course, as they update it and they give us more new features, all of those will just transfer directly over Bluetooth as a standard OTA update. So with that being said, I do want to say that if you're looking for a smart band, if you're a fan of what Xiaomi presents when it comes to smart bands, this is again the 8th in its own series. They're very popular, very light, and typically very affordable. So that's one of the other things that I love what Xiaomi does with these services and functions that we have in here. So make sure to check it out. Let me know in the comments below. What do you guys think of the brand new Xiaomi Smart Band 8? Is this something that you guys would like to upgrade to, let's say from an early Mi Band that they've released in previous years? And do you miss the Alexa functionality? Is that something that you used to use back on the earlier generation? This is TK. I'll see you in the next video.